Feeling like you can't quite catch your breath during menopause, you're not alone. This sensation, often called air hunger, can be surprising and a little scary. Research shows menopause can be linked to increased respiratory symptoms and reduced lung function, largely due to hormonal changes. But it's also important to consider other potential causes of breathlessness. So let's take a closer look at why it happens and what you can do about it. Air hunger or breathlessness is a feeling you get that you can't quite fill your lungs. It feels like you're catching your breath, or you want to take a really deep breath and your lungs just won't open up enough. And this is when you're not even exerting yourself or doing any exercise. Unlike breathlessness that's caused when you're doing a lot of exercise, or you're suddenly running, or you have health conditions such as asthma, this can happen especially when you're not doing anything. So you could be completely relaxing, not doing anything at all, and suddenly you just can't catch your breath. So this isn't wildly talked about in menopause circles, but we're beginning to see that it's much more common than what we thought it was, and often seems to be connected to the hormonal changes that are going on in the perimenopause and the menopause. So why does it occur? So we do think that there are hormonal changes that are causing it. Very often it's due to falling estrogen, and very often there's a little hint or sort of preview. If you're in the perimenopause and you find that you get the breathlessness just before a period, then that again is going to be connected with the hormonal changes that are going on just before you get a bleed. So we know that there's very definitely some kind of hormonal connection. It can be due to panic attacks and anxiety. We know that both of these are so much more common in the perimenopause and menopause. And if you get a panic attack, that often causes things like hyperventilation, or you literally just can't get your breath when you're in the middle of one of these episodes. It can be due to tissue dryness in the lungs. Now, lung tissue, like the vagina, like the mouth, like the bladder, are what's called mucous membranes. And we know that falling estrogen can affect the viscosity and also the hydration of mucous membranes. So if your lung tissue starts to get a bit drier, that's going to affect the amount of air that your lungs can take in, and also the way in which your lungs can expand and decrease with each breath that you take. However, there can also be other health issues that very often start to develop in the perimenopause and menopause that can cause this shortness of breath or air hunger. So it's really important that we don't just blame everything on the menopause. So there's a few other conditions that you need to be aware of. We know that hormonal changes, especially in the menopause and post-menopause, can lead to higher cardiovascular risks of things like heart disease and heart attacks. And we know that heart disease can cause breathlessness as well. So this can be quite a good indication there may be something else going on. We know that asthma can develop, especially in the menopause and post-menopause. But also, if you already have asthma, you may find that your condition gets worse at this particular point as well. So if you're getting medical treatment, it's really important that you go back to the doctor and discuss what's going on, and just let them know where you are in the menopause or post-menopause. It can also be due to anaemia, and especially in this instance, if you're in the perimenopause, if you're getting very heavy bleeds, if you're getting prolonged periods, if you're getting frequent periods, all of these can cause anemia, and anemia can cause breathlessness as well. The other thing that it could be is something, we're hearing a lot more about this in the menopause as well, something called sleep apnea. And this can be you might find, or your partner's telling you you're snoring a lot more during the night. It may be that you're actually holding your breath a lot. So this is something that definitely needs checking out as well. So what can you do here to help yourself? It's about getting the lungs moving. It's about getting a rhythmic breathing in any way, shape, or form that you can. So that can be things like gentle exercise, doing yoga, walking, swimming. These can all really help to strengthen lung function. Breathing exercises, and for those of you that have been with me for a long time, you know how important an emphasis I put on breathing exercises. So what we call diaphragmatic breathing, if I can get that word right, is learning to using the diaphragm to breathe, which will get much more air into the lungs. YouTube as well is fabulous. Just put in breathing exercises and you'll get loads that you can follow as well. If stress and anxiety is an issue, then obviously stress management, things like CBT, EFT, NLP, mindfulness, herbs, lovely calming herbs like passion flower and lemon balm can be really helpful. Remember the sea buckthorn oil. So if you're already getting issues like vaginal dryness, then lung issues may be a follow on from that, or vice versa. So sea buckthorn oil supplement can be really, really helpful here. And remember the water, loads of water on a daily basis. Humidifier, and again, especially in the winter, if you're in the UK or other cold countries, you're going to be sitting in a lot of central heating. So a humidifier, especially at night, may be really helpful for you. And avoid things that will irritate the lungs. So that's things like cigarette smoke. There's all the e-vaping now as well going on. So it's a good idea to try and avoid these areas if you can. If you wear perfume, especially artificial ones, that's on your skin all day. So that's going to be irritating the lungs. And things like your chemical cleaning products as well that you may use around about the home. I hope you found this one helpful. Do remember, if this is happening a lot with yourself, do get it checked out by your doctor to rule out all these other issues. If you've had this, what did you do? What did you find that helped yourself? Please share your stories. I love to read them all. Have a lovely week, and I'll see you soon.